Welcome to Steady Growth, where we build money, character, and resilience the same way. Small, steady, and on purpose. No hype, just honest steps that add up. Let's begin. It's 7:50 in the morning, the door just closed, the bus is pulling away, and there on the kitchen counter is the lunchbox. Your child forgot it. Again. And in that instant, you feel the pull. The same pull every loving parent feels. Grab the keys, drive it up to the school, fix it. Now picture two parents standing in that exact kitchen. The first one drives the lunchbox in, hands it over at the front office, and feels good. They helped. The second one looks at that lunchbox, feels the same tug, and then does something that looks like doing nothing. They leave it on the counter. Not out of anger, not to teach a harsh lesson, but because they know their child will be a little hungry at lunch, will borrow a snack from a friend or make it to the afternoon, and will remember the lunchbox tomorrow far better than any reminder could ever make them. And here's the part I really want you to sit with. The second parent isn't doing less. They're trusting something the first parent stepped in front of. They're letting the world do the teaching, and the world, it turns out, is a patient and remarkably effective teacher if we'll just get out of its way. That's what today is about. Not punishment, not lectures, the quiet power of natural consequences, and why the most helpful thing you do for your kids is sometimes to let a small, safe lesson actually land. So let's name it cleanly, because this gets muddled all the time. A natural consequence is simply what happens on its own, in the real world, as a direct result of a choice, with no engineering from you at all. You don't stand outside in the cold, so you get cold. You don't charge the tablet, so it's dead when you want it. You dawdle through breakfast, so you miss the first few minutes of the show. The parent didn't invent any of that. Gravity, weather, hunger, dead batteries, the simple cause and effect of how things actually work, that's the teacher. And it's worth separating this from its two cousins. A punishment is something you add on from the outside, and it usually has little to do with the choice itself. The forgotten homework that becomes a lost weekend of screen time. A logical consequence is one you design to fit calmly when nature won't deliver one. You spilled the juice on purpose, you help clean it up. Those have their place. But the natural consequence is the purest of the three, because you barely have to do anything, and there's nobody to argue with. And that last part is the secret to the whole thing. Because here's the mechanism, why this works when so much else doesn't. When you deliver the lesson yourself, the reminder, the warning, the I told you so, you accidentally make yourself the opponent. The child's attention shifts off their choice and onto you, your tone, your face, whether this is fair, how to push back. The lesson gets lost in the standoff. We've all watched it happen. We've all been the kid in it. But a natural consequence has no opponent. There's no one to resist, no power struggle to win, no fairness to debate. There's just cold arms, or an empty stomach, or a dead screen, speaking quietly and directly to the one person who can do something about it. This idea isn't new, by the way. A psychiatrist named Rudolf Drakers spent much of the last century teaching parents and teachers exactly this, that children learn responsibility not from our control, but from experiencing the reasonable results of their own decisions. Experience reaches a place a lecture simply can't. You already know this from your own life. Nobody had to tell you twice to grab the pan handle with a towel. The stove taught you once, and the lesson stuck for good. Our kids' brains work the same way. They are built to learn from feedback, from the gap between what they expected and what actually happened. A consequence closes that gap. A speech just widens it. And here is the reason to start small and start early, which might be the most important sentence in this whole video. The lessons are never cheaper than they are right now. A forgotten lunch in second grade costs one slightly hungry afternoon. A forgotten jacket costs one chilly recess. A toy left out in the rain costs one ruined toy and teaches more about taking care of your things than a year of nagging. These are tiny tuition payments, but the very same lesson You are responsible for your own stuff, your own timing, your own follow-through. If it doesn't get learned at 7 for the price of a sandwich, it waits to get learned at 17 for the price of a missed deadline, a blown opportunity, a job that slips away. The child who is always rescued never gets to feel the small, safe sting that wires in the lesson. So they meet the big, unsafe version of it first, out in a world that does not drive the lunchbox up to the office. When we rush in to spare them every little failure, we don't actually spare them. We just raise the price and mail the bill to their future. Letting the small lesson land now is one of the most loving, forward-looking things a parent can do. Now let me bring this all the way home, because there is one arena where natural consequences are pure gold, and it's money. Money is the perfect classroom for this, because the stakes when your kids are young are wonderfully, beautifully small. Give a child an allowance, and the magic isn't the dollars, it's that the dollars are real, and so are the consequences. Your child blows the whole week's allowance on candy the first afternoon, and then 3 days later, desperately wants the thing at the store and has nothing left. Do not bail them out. I know how hard that is, but that empty wallet and that gap until next allowance is teaching a lesson about spending and saving that no lecture you give will ever match, and it's teaching it for the grand price of a few dollars. The toy they had to have and then neglected until it broke teaches the true cost of, "I'll take care of it, I promise." Let the $5 mistake happen now, gladly even, because that is how you buy your child out of the $50,000 version later. The credit card spiral, the car they couldn't afford, the savings account that never got started. Small money mistakes now prevent enormous ones later. The empty piggy bank on Tuesday is the cheapest, kindest financial education your child will ever get. Don't rescue them from it. Let it teach. Now let me be honest with you, because on this channel, calm and accurate beats clever, and this tool has firm limits and a couple of ways to break it. First and most important, natural consequences are only for the safe stuff. You never, ever let the world teach a lesson about traffic, a hot stove, a swimming pool, a stranger, or anything that can truly hurt them. When the natural consequence is dangerous, your job flips completely. You step in, every time, no exceptions. This is a tool for forgotten lunches and dead tablets, not for real danger. Second, the moment the consequence arrives, resist the "I told you so" with everything you have. That little victory lap, "well, maybe next time you'll listen," instantly undoes the magic because it drags you right back into being the opponent and turns a clean, natural lesson back into a punishment with your fingerprints on it. The far more powerful move is empathy. A cold recess, that's no fun. I bet tomorrow that jacket comes with us. You stay firmly on their side, while the consequence does its quiet work. And third, don't manufacture a fake consequence and call it natural. Kids can smell it, and it curdles into just another punishment. The real ones are usually already there, waiting. Your only job is to stop blocking them. So here's the whole idea to carry with you. Your children are going to live in a world full of real cause and effect, real deadlines, real consequences, a world that will not and should not rescue them from every small failure. The greatest gift you can give them is the chance to practice that world while the stakes are still tiny and the landing is still soft. While a hard lesson costs a hungry afternoon instead of a lost career, a few dollars instead of a financial crisis. So when you can do it safely, step back. Let the cold teach about the jacket. Let the empty wallet teach about the candy. Let the dead battery teach about charging it. And when the lesson lands, don't lecture and don't gloat, just stand beside them with warmth and trust what just happened. You are not being neglectful. You are not failing to help. You are handing the lesson to the most patient, most honest, most effective teacher there is, and stepping out of the fight entirely, so the two of you can be on the same team. Let the world teach. It's better at it than any of us, and it never, ever needs to raise its voice. That's not stepping back from parenting. That's some of the steadiest, most forward-looking parenting there is. If something here was useful today, the best thing you can do is use it tonight in one small way. And if you'd like to keep growing with us, you're welcome in our tribe at familycreative.org. It's where we gather the tools and resources we build for people doing this on purpose, and where you can learn more, share what's working, and help someone a few steps behind you. That's the whole point. Small, steady, together. Be kind, try hard, do the work, build the family. We'll see you in the next one.